Good morning. On this Christmas Day morning 2024, I'd like to share a few thoughts about Jesus, how he was incarnated and, quotes, excarnated. I think that there is a very much forgotten aspect about the incarnation, God becoming flesh, entering a human body. And that is the aspect of the same soul, spirit of Jesus, leaving his body. When Jesus gave up the spirit and the veil in the temple was torn in two, you can read about it in Matthew chapter 27, verse 50 to 51. That is the excarnation, when the spirit of Jesus left his body. Jesus, when he had cried again with a loud voice, yielded up the ghost, and behold, the veil of the temple was rent in twain from the top to the bottom. Jesus' soul, or spirit if you will, was not taken to the grave. We just read here in Matthew that he gave up the spirit, so the spirit left his body at the cross when he died. Then his dead body, his tortured body, was taken by Joseph from Arimathea and put in the grave. And after 3 days, on the third day, God let his beloved Son re-enter his body. And at that moment, Jesus' dead body was changed into the form of his glorified body. God not erasing the marks from the passion and crucifixion, but letting those marks of torture remain as an eternal testimony of how mankind treated God when he came in flesh and blood, incarnated, to show us his face and to save us from ourselves. There is a great video about the Shroud of Turin, done by Dr. John Campbell. I will leave a link below, where you can hear about how the imprint of the dead, tortured body of Jesus Christ was pictured photographically on the linen cloth. Please have a look at that video if you haven't from before. But the Spirit of Jesus re-entered the body that was dead, and at that moment the body was reshaped into his glorified new body of eternal character, uncorruptible, but with still the marks from the torture and the crucifixion on that body, visible for the disciples when they were gathered. After Jesus rose from the dead, he came and visited them, and we know Jesus' body still bore the marks of the torture and crucifixion. The famous story about Thomas that wanted to feel the wound in Jesus' side and put his fingers into the palm, into his in the nail marks of his wrist, not the palm. He was crucified in the wrist, as the linen clothes confirms. So Jesus bore the marks of the crucifixion on his resurrected body. And then Jesus left the grave, risen, his old, tortured body, risen, changed, left the grave without taking the stone away. That was done later when his disciples wanted to see inside the grave. But Jesus left the grave without taking the stone away because he could go through stone and walls. So that is my thoughts about the excarnation, that moment at Golgotha when the Spirit of Jesus left his incarnated body, and the body was taken without Jesus' spirit and put in the grave, staying there until the third day when Jesus re-entered his body and became the eternal form that he has right now, and that you will see him in if you choose to believe in him and accept him in your heart as your Savior. So that is how the miracle of incarnation and the Christmas story ended. God bless you. I hope this was of any help for you. Please have a look at the link I told you about. Dr. John Campbell. It's the best video I've seen so far. Very balanced, very accurate about the Shroud of Turin. All for now. Take care. God bless you.